The leaders of Pacific Island countries have a lot of issues to discuss. Climate change and rising sea levels, disaster preparedness, vulnerable fish stocks, and the growing influence of China. All those issues are on the Pacific Island Forum's agenda, but all are being overshadowed by where the forum is happening. Tiny Nauru is one of the two places Australia's government has sent and held for years refugees who've tried to get to its shores. Manus Island in Papua New Guinea is the other. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch and United Nations agencies have all condemned conditions on the islands. Australia's Refugee Council and its Asylum Seeker Resource Centre have just published a joint report. It says poor living conditions on Nauru and the lack of a long-term plan for the families being held has left refugees, including children, broken. Nauru's government, and some think Australia's too, are sensitive to the criticism. Most refugee support organisations aren't allowed to visit the country.
It's outrageous. You don't have to hide anything that's good, right? The Australian government is doing everything it can to try and prevent the reality of the impact of their policy from the Australian people.
For years too, journalists, including those from Al Jazeera, have been banned from Nauru. For the Pacific Island Forum, Nauru said that a very small number of journalists, no more than 30 in total and no more than 3 from any one country, would be allowed to visit. But they still said no to us, and for the few who they did let in, there were strict conditions on their visas. They were to report only on the Pacific Island Forum and not engage in any activities that would cause or encourage disruption.
What's it like living here?
If there was any doubt, on Tuesday it became clear that meant talking to refugees.
The police showed up and said that wanted to see my visa, said I was breaching my visa conditions. So I was taken to the police station.
The Nauruan president's frustration with the forum being disrupted in this way was clear.
We don't deserve this at all. Don't tell me about refugee being an issue. How can it be an issue for Tonga, for Kiribati? No, it's an issue for Australia and all those refugee advocates.
New Zealand's Prime Minister flew in for the Pacific Island Forum, but the region's newest leader, Australia's, is missing. Scott Morrison has been to Nauru before. As immigration opposition spokesman and then immigration minister, he oversaw the island's refugee prison. But as Prime Minister, he's avoiding a revisit. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.